pledge allegiance. At this point, I'm going to go off script and ask everyone to join the board in singing happy birthday to Dr. Hicks.
Oh, boy.
I'll start it, but won't lead it. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you.
And I won't share with you how I found out. Okay, all board members are here. Any announcements? Nope. Okay, we adjourned to executive session, so we are moving back into open session. We need a motion to approve our agenda for this evening.
So moved.
Second? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Also before you are the minutes from our meeting on May 8th. Any changes or corrections? If none, I ask for a motion to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. No correspondence. We move to our first public comment session. I ask you to step to the microphone and give your name and address in the event that you need any questions answered or clarification. Okay, then we'll move to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Kloss. It's our pleasure to recognize and honor our unified basketball team tonight, along with the coaches. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Smith to talk about the kids and their success.
Thank you. This year was our first year for our unified basketball program. These students and their coaches have captured the hearts of the high school community, and I'm super proud to be a part of a school and district that has a program like this. And Beth Braun is our head coach. She's done a fantastic job with these kids. And I know I speak on behalf of the whole high school when I say how proud I am of her and her team and what they've accomplished this year. And I'll let her brag a little bit about the team.
I'm not going to step in front of the mic because I am a phys ed teacher. So first of all, unified basketball would not have happened if it wasn't for Mrs. Wild, I believe, standing up at a board meeting and saying, why isn't Clarence participating in unified basketball? So first of all, I can say from the bottom of my heart for our coaches, our gen ed kids, and our unified kids that it was probably the most rewarding experience that we have had. I have been a coach, Trish Andrews, I used to coach with Trish Andrews, way back when I was like in college. And I have been coaching for a long time, and by far, it is by far the most rewarding experience I've ever had. And I'm going to be hitting up the board and CSEF for money because I would like to start a unified club to get more kids involved that weren't able to because of age limit or other restrictions. So I'm hoping to get that going this summer and maybe getting something more rolling in the winter because I do coach field hockey as well. But
Okay, congratulations to our basketball team. We're going to pause for just a second, and it's okay if you don't hang out for the rest of the board meeting. If you've got other things to do, like study for your exams and that kind of thing, you can exit at this point. We will pause, and then we'll get on with our regular meeting. Thank you again.
Oh, yeah. Get up, and I said, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute, make sure everything works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, Ian.
Don't take it personally.
Summer's always.
That's the code of conduct.
Okay, for the next order of business, on an annual basis, the Board of Education approves changes that are suggested to our code of conduct. This year, Rob Michelle from the middle school and Bob Caniglio from the high school chaired a committee to bring forward changes in the code of conduct. And Rob is here tonight, and he's the expert at it, and I'd like him to review the changes for the board.
The changes this year of the code were minor, as we didn't have any new regulations to add. We added definitions of bullying and slander in the beginning portion because although they appeared as noted within the code, they were never defined. There was a section under example, under conduct that endangers safety, morals, or health of students. Harassment and sexual harassment were lumped into one example. So to make that more clear, we separated those two pieces into separate harassment and then specifically sexual harassment. We thought we'd get into a more up-to-date level of our electronics and telecommunications, so we struck beepers and PDAs and replaced those with wearable devices and tablets. The most significant change in the code that we put in this year was the section under student searches and interrogations. And what was added was in the event that a student refused either a breathalyzer test or refused to be searched, what consequences could potentially be imposed by refusing that search. Are there any questions from the board?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. That concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay. Finance?
So we have a few items. First, the financial reports. I just wanted to mention that while they're not getting any plaques, the Transportation Department was congratulated and applauded by New York State. They have a goal of 90% passage rate, and the initial passage for vehicle inspections at Clarence is 95.6. So they did a great job.
Congratulations to them.
I also want to mention that left out of the draft agenda for the reorganization meeting, there was a to be determined for the third member of the audit committee, and Mr. Fuchs would like to serve in that capacity. So at the July meeting, I will insert his name. Any board member who also would like to serve, the committee isn't limited to 3. Please, you could either send me an email or let me know, and we can add that. Do you want me to continue? Yes. The next one we have are 3 standard resolutions at this time. 2 of them closing the books so that we can enable budget transfers and pay bills. that are dated June 30th, but a little bit into July, standard practice. And the other one is the blanket resolution, so that we are eligible to tap into all of the other bids from the various BOCES that we use and the various cooperatives. Let's see. The next resolution is the borrowing for the buses. So at the May election, $825,000 was approved to purchase 9 school buses. And this is the resolution that allows us to borrow that money. We will do this upon your approval in early to mid-July. And the buses should be here. We're counting on at least 6 of them that the vendors, when we pre-set up that note in January that I asked you to look at, have said they'll be here prior to the start of school. Next item that we have are some of our standard bids. The janitorial and the musical instrument bids are normal. We do those every year at this time. The refuse recycling and security are also normal, but those two I did want to note, we jointly bid with Lancaster, Depew, and Alden. And then one that's different this year, which we're requesting board approval, is the auditorium painting. High school auditorium, I think it was in 1999 was the last time anything major was done to that auditorium. So it certainly needed painting. When we met with the music department, they thought it was a great idea. They could use a few less instruments and soup up the aud a little bit. So that's there for your consideration. Also, what I include in this list is our annual list of pre-purchase items. Some of them are items that we typically pre-purchase each and every year, and that keeps our budget constant for both years, and it allows us to use up any balance we have at the end of the year. And actually, that's the majority of them. There's a couple just to mention is the radio upgrade for transportation. That's a frequency issue, and the radios needed to be upgraded, similar to the auditoriums that had to have upgrades, but this is for every single bus. This way, the frequencies, other frequencies that we're currently using have been commandeered by the FCC, and so we have to transfer to these. We could do it over a period of time and have a couple multiple frequencies going. Much harder to dispatch and keep in contact with the buses. So as long as we have pre-purchase money, we thought we would do it this year. It's about the only odd one that I see here. Next item is the accepting of the vote results, which obviously were very favorable, so I hope we all accept the vote results. The last item is the reorganization meeting date. According to law, the reorganization meeting will this year be Tuesday, July 4th, but because it's a holiday, it moves to Wednesday, July 5th. However, through resolution, you could choose any day between the 1st and the 15th of July. So we're recommending that we use July 10th for the reorganization meeting. And then also with that are the draft appointments for the reorganization meeting. Again, really, there's nothing different here other than a couple of the names have changed, if appropriate. The tuition rates that you see there, we haven't used in a few years. No one's actually brought a student here who is an employee, but those are state calculated. And the professional development plan will be updated as we speak, I'm told from Kristen, and we'll have that one for you at the July meeting. Any questions on any of those?
Anyone have any questions, comments?
Two questions. First, just to reiterate what you said, that the reorganization meeting, it's just the draft agenda, we're not approving the agenda tonight.
Yes, correct.
And then with regards to the auditorium painting, great choice, it definitely needs it. Was there water leaking that caused that ceiling issue in the past that we've rectified, or?
That is rectified.
Okay.
And yes, there was, it was actually air conditioning units that were leaking as opposed to roof, so it was an easier fix. Roof leaks sometimes are trickier.
And then all of that's gonna be all fixed then, the patch
Yes.
Great.
Okay, so I need a motion for F1 through F7.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Personnel, Dr. Patak.
Mrs. Claus, you have a number of items before you this evening, beginning with resignations, one for the purposes of retirement after 21 years of service in the district. We also have a request for leave of absence and various appointments. The first appointment being new principal of Harris Hill Elementary School. And I'd like to note that Mrs. Aldrich is in the audience this evening. Number of We have various appointments. I'd also like to mention that as a result of retirements at the elementary tenure area level, we have 2 teachers who are being recalled from the preferred eligible list and are being returned to tenured positions. We have various summer work, academic support instructors, related services summer program, Regents review instructors, teacher on special assignment, as well as on the addendum, we have teachers on special assignment. Under L, department and grade level chairpersons, I would just ask you to strike the second item under district-wide career and technical education. We have an addendum for the fall sports that's attached. Special education services, these are individuals who may need to be called in over the summer to serve on the committee for special education in case there's a new student that enters the district or needs to be reviewed. We also have summer curriculum projects, summer guidance, and essentially that's it for the instructional personnel.
Any questions on the original or the addendum? If not, then need a motion to approve P1 through P7.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
For the non-instructional appointments, you have a number of resignations, some again for retirement purposes, request for reinstatement to active employment. Various appointments, the majority of these appointments are annual appointments of temporary personal teacher aides. We also have a new secretary for the Buildings and Grounds Department. Various summer laborers working in Buildings and Grounds as well as the Technology Department. And summer transportation for our special education programs. An informational item, additions and deletions to the substitute list. And on the addendum, you also have a request for a leave of absence.
Any questions on the original or the addendum? Okay, motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Dr. Hicks, special needs and student activities?
Yes, this was another very, very busy month for special education. We had 158 Committee on Special Education meetings since the last time the board did the approvals. Most of these are annual reviews, placements for the next school year. We also had a number of brand new kids who were identified over the course of the last month. 39 Committee on Preschool Special Education meetings. That kind of closes out the 4 to 5-year-olds who are going to be entering kindergarten next year.
And 158 school age.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anybody have any questions or comments? Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Mancuso, on the Board of Education Policy Manual.
So the next section is the 3,000 sections, and this is, you know, the basically community relations section. A little more extensive than the last couple of sections that we had. Again, I did note the policies that are the required policies in case there are any of the group that, as a group, you feel that are just not needed. I did note the 4 that have changed quite a bit. There was so much change in like the non-discrimination, anti-harassment one. As you can see, we basically retyped a lot of what they wanted. There is a lot of overlap from the cross-out to the red that's in there. However, it would have been a little too convoluted. I think it's a good idea, kind of, we looked at the black cross out what it was, look at the red, and see if there was anything that you might think is needed, plus or minus on it. So, as in the past, what we'd ask you to do is send us any kind of revisions to this. Being a big section, you know, there's no time frame. If at the next meeting, we'll bring it to you, whether it's got other changes from your suggestions, or if it's just this. But if you needed more time, again, it doesn't have to be approved at the July meeting, but we'll bring it back to you.
Okay. On to the Committee of the Whole, items of information. You have a schedule of meetings before you and upcoming events. And I will move to the last public comment session. Again, ask you to give your name and address, and in the event we need to follow up with any questions or concerns. Okay, hearing none. Make a motion, we need a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation with the Clarence Teachers Association.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this meeting is ended.